Hi and welcome everybody. I am Jennifer and thanks for being on my channel. I do appreciate your support. So I'm here with another weekly energy reading, and this is for the week of March 6th to the 12th. We do have a full moon happening this week, so that is on the 7th, and it is a full moon in Virgo. And so Virgo here. So energies that we are moving into or we will be influenced by is reorganizing and health issues this week. So let's dive into the cards and see what they say. Okay, so I already have the cards shuffled and ready to go. We're going to do 3 rows again this week, past, present, and future. It does feel a little funny not shuffling them right now, right before I flip them, but I did do them ahead of time. So, okay. So past energies that we are just walking, it's recent past, or that we're just moving out of here. So we have a gift. So, wow. There's been some magic happening, or things that we've been perceiving as been magic in our lives. There's been, it almost feels like people or a person coming into our life, or who has come into our life, who has made a profound impact on us. So it actually feels like it was unexpected, and it feels like this is something that was not a coincidence, but a serendipity, or that sort of energy, where it was just right time, right place. And it might have even been just like a brief, it's interesting. I'm also getting that it's a brief encounter with somebody. It doesn't feel like it was a long term. It might turn into that, but it feels like there was just something that was shared. So it was words or a smile or just something that was almost in passing, but it was exactly what you needed at the time. And so it's just how the universe will reach out. It's just, a great reminder of how the universe reaches out to us. Here, I'll show you this card a little bit better. I'm sorry, I was tuning into the energies of it. I forgot to do this part, so you can actually see the card I was talking about. But yeah, it just, to me, this is like an acknowledgement to the universe and how things are always at play that we can't see, and how we draw circumstances or instances to us. There's a part of ourselves that are always on a greater aspect, working for our highest self, and like breadcrumbs along a path. And sometimes we just need a little bit of encouragement if we feel discouraged or confused or just down in the dumps and we can't seem to get ourselves up out of it for whatever reason, or we feel cut off. And so it's like just these little rays of sunshine that come into our lives when we need them. And so I feel like, yeah, this is just an acknowledgement and a hats off and a little thumbs up and a nod to the universe, to ourselves, and how we are part of everything and never ever separate, even though there's many times it feels like we are separate. So in this particular, what we're moving out of, so we have been working on, and I know I have discussed this in previous readings, we've been working on a new endeavor. And so we have been, I know last week I talked about it, putting it out into the world. And we are, I think, to a certain aspect, we are putting it out into the world. But it feels like it's also, there's a lot of it that is, I think maybe the talking about it is how we've been putting out into the world. We've been discussing it. There's been collaboration, but it still feels like it's been, and in the messenger too, could be a lot about the communication and discussion about it as well. that we have been doing into fine tune the aspects of it. There could also be it's education, it's educating ourselves on what this is that we want to and have been working on bringing out into the world, this new venture. Yeah, so definitely it feels a bit scholarly here. I'm picking that up with this card too. So that is a lot of what the energies have been. And with this Queen of Wands, which is next, it does feel like this has been a path that your intuition has been leading you down, and just something that you are passionate about, that you really feel is in alignment with who you are and where you want to take your life. So there is that energy that's been associated with it. And yes, here we go again with the Knight of Pentacles. So, you know, we're not taking any action on it yet, putting it out into the world, but we are standing on the precipice here. Now, mind you, this is the past energy, so this is where we have been. We'll see what is going on here. And I see, oh my gosh, I have shuffled these cards so good, but I think we've had most of these cards. I'm looking, we had this one last week. I know we had a sword last week, and we had, we had that, I think, last week, this one last week, and this one last week. So, oh my gosh, that is crazy. I wish now I had shown you me shuffling these cards, because I shuffled them really well. And, oh my gosh, that is just crazy. I am kind of a little bit awestruck here by that. Anyways, back to this one. So we have been on the precipice of presenting it or bringing it out into the world, but we haven't actually taken a physical action yet. But we are planning. We're still planning on how we're going to execute this, and we're not ready yet. And it could be that, you know, the education part of it, the scholarly part, is going to take some time. So we're not through it yet. But yeah, we're still in the phase of creation in a way. We're putting all of our ducks in a row, so to speak. So the present energy we have here, the overall energy for the present is be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. So this is the card is pretty self-explanatory, just being yourself. And I think that it's remembering that, you know, whatever your passions are, it can be your purpose, become your purpose in your life here. And tuning in as well, going within in this, you know, with this card, letting the false aspects of you fall away, and to allow more and more of your light shine, not life. Yeah, life too, but let your light shine. And it feels like, shoot, something else had just popped in there for a second. What was that? I think there is a little bit of vulnerability coming in here too, or feeling vulnerable. So by letting these false layers melt away, realizing that they're not really who you are, there might be a little bit of a sense of being exposed. But I also feel that by bringing more of your authenticity through, you know, I know I'm using like kind of, oh gosh, what are they called? You know, just, you know, letting your light shine, right? It's almost like a cliche, but in truth, by being more authentic and letting those false or protective, right? These layers that we feel are protective, but all they really do in the long run is they hide who we really are from the world, and the world really needs who we truly are. And that's how we attract our tribe, and that's how you know, we truly connect with others, and again establish that we are never alone, and that we're one big earth family. So we have the Hanged Man. So yeah, so there is in this letting these false layers melt away and being more authentic. This is bringing more understanding into our past. So it's like it's surrendering. I feel like there is a surrendering here to just what is, and letting go of control, trying to control all the aspects, and the flow of life, or how things happen and people come and go and situations change. I mean, life is about change. Again, another cliche, right? But they're also true. They all come from somewhere. But there is, I believe, like it feels like there is an enlightenment here. So there is a deeper understanding in this process of being more authentic, and listening to your inner wisdom and tapping into that. So there's, yeah, not only tapping into the wisdom, but yeah, tapping in and having a deeper understanding, and that's how it's coming about. Yeah, this is a card I know we had last week or the week before, maybe even both, but the Eight of Pentacles. So this is building your skills. So everything that you have been working on, and even this other part about being more authentic, and who you are, and bringing that into the world, and the vulnerability. These are all skills. They're skills that you're bringing to the table. So whatever it is that you are, in learning, whatever this is. So there's different levels here that I'm feeling. So it's like these are tools and skills, not only on the physical level as indicated with the pentacles, but because we're talking about enlightenment and surrender and letting your light shine and being more authentic, the one can't be separate from the other. So this is building your skills just, in a psychological way, in just the wisdom building, the wisdom tapping into these deeper aspects of you that are, maybe you have been tapping into them, but there's like a whole new level now, and there's asking questions. I feel like there's a bit, I'm wondering if that's in here somewhere, but okay, yeah, I'm seeing it in the next row, in the future row here, with the overall energy card, or the clarifying card that I have pulled. But just to stay on this right now, so we're this is like, I feel like this is part of the spiritual journey as well as the physical journey. They're not separate from each other, right? So, and we have a tendency in our minds to separate one from the other, and really they're all connected. So wherever we're at, internally, on a personal awareness level, I call it spirituality. You might call it something else, but just that internal world, your understanding, and your how you connect with others, and your thoughts, right? And how that creates your reality, because it's your perceptions and your beliefs that create your reality. And through those filters, you perceive the world around you, but it's in your awareness of this process and awakening to it, and how much power you have through your thoughts, and by taking control of your thoughts and not letting your thoughts control you, where, because then we might fall, we'd be more apt to come from a mentality of victimhood, right? That we have no control. But it's all in that process. And then wherever we are is what we present to the world. So we carry this resonance signature, it's an energetic signature, and it comes out through the words we use, to how we treat others, because they're all reflections of what's going on inside of us. So this is all part of it. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I don't sound like I'm talking in circles. I'm hoping that I'm relaying the words correctly that I'm trying to say. So, but I'm just, it's just this feeling of, the inner and outer world, how, one is always reflective of the other. So our outer world is always a reflection of our inner world. So, but yes, so we are building the skills, not only through learning, but also tapping into greater, like, universal resources, and whether you're aware of it or not, right? So if you've been if you're a meditator, and you do things that support you, your sense of well-being, through exercise or contemplation, meditation, um, anything that kind of puts you into a timeless zone almost, steps you outside of time. And then that is all building this. And I kind of lost my train of thought there, sorry. Okay, so then finally in the current energies, we also have the Eight of Swords. So this just feels like, yeah, in tapping into new wisdom, not new wisdom, just wisdom. The wisdom is old and ancient. It's funny how I say new to us perhaps, but just thoughts and ideas that, we've never thought of before or have never come into our reality, concepts about what life is and how things come together and where you fit into it. And so I feel like there's ideas, but it feels like perceptions and concepts and almost like aha moments. And I'm having a deja vu. I feel like I've said that before, like those aha moments, not that long ago. But trust that they're coming from they're coming from higher aspects of you, or source energy. Sorry, I just heard my dog growl. I was just wondering what he must hear some noises outside. Okay, so moving into the future energies, we have the opening to discovery. So this is the card I was feeling where we're asking questions, bigger questions, about where we're going, what is the meaning of it, how do I fit in, what is my life's purpose. Anything like that that's kind of open-ended, that we're asking, that there are no set answers to. So these are questions that are going to lead you into a deeper discovery of who you are and where you want to go, what you want your life to look like. And so there's no true answers, and there never will be really answers. These are questions that start leading you down a pathway. And that pathway leads to more of your truth. And your truth is ever evolving and changing. A truth is basically just what in the moment, or, a series of moments, resonates with you, whether and how it feels can be different in any part of this truth. But that is definitely what I'm feeling with this card. Is just, asking questions. It could also be questions you've never really asked before, but you're ready. And this is happening because you're ready, or you're going to be ready. But in doing that kind of work and opening basically doors and walking down a new pathway often leads to change and some inner conflict, because people around you, if you start actually making changes and decisions, so you might be leaving jobs, but there's going to be things you're going to be changing, and that can cause conflict around you. There might be relationships that you realize are not supportive. They're not from a heart space. And so you might be realizing this as you are asking these bigger questions. And so just, yeah, it's going to, there's also, I'm feeling with this card, there's a feeling of, in recognizing falseness in kind of old belief systems and paradigms, there is a sadness because you're realizing what you thought was something you could rely on as a truth, or whether it be a person or a situation or how life was, you're realizing that that's not actually true. You're seeing through the facade of aspects of life. And I think that is, of course, what am I trying to say? Is perfectly a natural response to be upset over it, because it's disappointing. A lot of times it can be very disappointing, and that's the emotion I'm feeling with this card. It's disappointing because you're realizing that, yeah, things aren't what you thought they were. And again, it could be related to a situation, overall things in life. It could be people, it could be relationships, it can be even things with yourself, that you are realizing aren't what you thought they were, and it can be a little bit disappointing. And but take it with a grain of salt. Realize that this is part of the journey. You're growing, you're seeing things for what they actually are and not what you had idealized them to be. Okay, so this is actually a good thing. This is a good thing. So now we have the 10 of Swords. And again, I know this is one we just had, I think, last week or the week before. And so this is showing the end of something. Something is over. And what I want to say is that because of the moon cycle we're moving into, Saturn is moving into Pisces this week. It's an end of an era. So this is like a phase of your life that is coming to an end. And of course, so for every end, there is a new beginning, as you can see in the dawn here. And I'm just tuning in here to see if there's anything else indicative of being ending. Well, yeah, okay. So I'm just kind of being shown that this is just, it, it feels like, okay, hold on. I need to dive into this a little bit deeper. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay, so what I'm getting is that this is, it's hard to find words for it. So it's like you. So there's this feeling of an aspect of you, or you ending. I almost want to say dying, but it's almost like a death. It's like a death internally of who you used to be. And it's a bit uncomfortable. And but I also want to say with that, in that feeling, it's like this generalized sadness, and it's there's this like awareness of, just kind of grief. But where's it coming from? I don't think, I think it's just a matter of taking a bigger step back, looking at it from a broader perspective. Think of yourself as like the eagle, and you are stepping back and you're taking a bigger picture of your situation, and realizing that maybe there's nothing actually wrong with you. So stop, questioning yourself. What's wrong with me? Because that's an old conditioned way of handling things, right? We want to go into the mind and we want to try to pick it apart and analyze it and make sense of it so we can digest it. But what if we just took a broader perspective and realized, you know what? Life is always changing. There's ebbs, there's flows. I'm part of that. You're part of it. We're all part of it. And in order to grow, there is a letting go of things too, because we need to make space within our energy for the new to come in. So new thoughts, new beliefs, new experiences. And there's the opening up. This one. So asking those questions that are leading you down down a path, which is opening, going to bring in new experiences. And you are leading this. So remember that you're leading this, whether you're aware of it or not. But just trust that it's temporary. How you're feeling is temporary. Honor it. Hold space for yourself. Hold that compassion, and trust the process. Everything is temporary. And again, I know another cliche. But yeah, did I make the point I was feeling about that inner part of you? Just let it be. Don't force it. Okay, just just hold the space and trusting that it will pass. But don't get lost in it either. It's important not to get stuck in that, to surround yourself with things that feel good, that add to your sense of well-being, being in nature, focusing on hobbies that you enjoy, or starting new hobbies. Um, I'm going to jump back here to the present moment with this Ace of Swords, and how, you know, these new ideas come in, and take action on those, because they're going to be stepping stones. These new thoughts and ideas popping in are leading you down this new path of discovery. So these are little breadcrumbs for you, okay? So it's important to pay attention to those. And so finally, for the end of the week, we have the Six of Wands. And so I feel like this is a bit of a celebration on your journey, on what this part of your past. So we have a few things happening here, right? So we have the getting all your ducks in a row, that we have been working on. But part of this is so even though this is the physical part, it's holding the energy, trusting your intuition and what adds to your sense of well-being and where you're going. You haven't put it out into the world yet, but you're getting everything ready to go. But in part of that, there is this internal growth. So the letting go, stepping into this new energy of who you are becoming, in order, and it's part of this, whatever you are manifesting into the world, it's not separate, it's part of it. So in order for this to be manifesting in the world, this is an integral part. I feel like a shift in your perception internally is a very, very integral part of this. It feels like this might, you know, they're part and parcel. I don't want to say this won't happen without this. It will, but this is going to take the experience to a whole nother level for us, right? This is a collective reading. And as you are letting go, and stepping into new paths and new ways of being, there is that, you know, realizing there is that, you know, the sadness, a bit of grief there for the changing and the past, letting go of the past and realizing, you know, it's over. But then there is the rejoicing, and this just really feels like rejoicing, and that you are on the right path and to keep trusting it. So this is, you know, a really positive card. You're following your passions, you're leading, but you're also being led. The horse, to me, feels like, you know, spirit is leading you, but this is you leading you. This is all your own doing, your own creation. And I feel like, you know, these little guys over here are like, you know, both your guides, it's the universe, it's the angels, it's also your peers, your friends, that have your back and are all rooting for you. And so there is a feeling of accomplishment with this card coming in. So yeah, a really transformative week, of kind of a very, very deep dive here. I'm just going to switch the camera around. There we go. Hi again. So yeah, a really a deep dive into the reading this week. We're really going through some transformation here. Lots of changes. We are stepping into a new cycle on many levels. So yeah, just keep trusting the process. And when things get a little sticky or uncomfortable, just hold space for yourself, and don't get stuck in that. Just trust that it's going to be temporary, and that you are moving onward and upward. I mean, this is all good, right? But growth is never easy. So it always has those little sticky parts. Not, I shouldn't say always, but oftentimes it does. So just don't be judgmental. Just take it with a grain of salt, and remember to keep doing what makes you feel good, and yeah, be kind to yourself. I think that's a really good message in the week with, and start the week with. Be kind to yourself. Okay, I'm sending you all my love, and please be well, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.